we've been talking about man up dialogue, and these two brothers are definitely not doing what men are supposed to do, and especially in our community. These are two, how you say, woke individuals,
Mhm.
conscious community individuals that
Put that in
haven't been doing what
quotes.
they need to do. So, as you guys know, for Brother Polite plea deal, he has potentially years behind bar. Brother Polite, a popular social media influencer, has been arrested for alleged sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl and has been faced years. I think he had like 6 years, I think they gave him, if I'm not mistaken.
That's it.
I think so,
Damn.
because, yeah, I forgot exactly. I think the reason why is because he didn't fight it. I think he went and took the plea deal. So
Mm.
because he got the plea deal, they went and got him, gave him those years, and he has to do at least, I think, at least 6 years in prison.
Wow.
So he's currently locked up now. If I'm not mistaken, allegedly he got 6 years. I'm not
It's
really
crazy.
sure about the amount of years, but I think it's around that time frame. And the reason why I brought him up because he had got locked up um, last year on these charges, and the 14-year-old girl is actually the his girlfriend's daughter. So that's kind of messed up how you can have sex with your girlfriend's daughter in the midst of all of that. And it's real sad for a guy to be preying on a young girl like that, especially if you're already engaged in a relationship with grown women. So guys like this is definitely needs to be eradicated out of our community. Don't care how much knowledge you have or whatever, all that goes by the wayside when you're using the knowledge to prey on individuals within the community that you should be protected. That 14-year-old girl looked at you for guidance, not for you to prey on her and do something deceitful like that. So I brought that up because recently, just the other day, another conscious community leader got arrested and sentenced. So, accused cult leader Nature Boy found guilty on all counts, including rape in DeKalb County. Um,
Oof.
Bishop was found guilty on all charges of rape, false imprisonment, and sharing 3 pieces of sexual explicit content on social media, which they call that revenge porn. And Bishop now faces a possible sentence of life in prison without parole. All right, so he is definitely out of the game. You probably won't be seeing him anymore. But these are the kind of behaviors that need to be eradicated out of our community. You know, it's a sad situation that we have guys like this that's preying on the black women when we're out here trying to fight against the narrative that we protect black women, and we don't need people like this to be preying on black women. That type of behavior is definitely not acceptable in our community, and we don't need it, and it needs to be eradicated. So one way or another, it's going to be eradicated, either the street justice or you're going to go through jail. But you're no longer within our community, and rightfully so. So I'll turn it over to you guys for whatever extra commentary you guys want to make on that.
Wow. Wow. That's, I mean, it's heartbreaking, but it brings me peace at the same time because, like you said, those type of characters, they don't need to be in the hood at all. They don't need to be among any of us. That type of behavior is antithetical to what is the behavior of a man. You understand what I'm saying? We are protectors of the community. We are providers for the community. We advise the community. We don't prey on the community. So as far as I'm concerned, with both of them and with anybody else who shares that type of behavior, they can lock them up and throw away the key for all I care.
Correct.
That type of behavior just has no place. I draw the line at children. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, I will go shoot somebody myself for harming a child. Real talk. And
Yeah.
when I see things like that, it just disturbs me. And I just want to put it out there. A lot of these people in the conscious community that just follow somebody blindly because they say Africa, you understand? Those are the people who pedestalize those assholes. I want to
Yeah.
put that out there because you got a lot of them out there. A lot of people, let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a trillion. You got a lot of people in the conscious community that don't think. You understand? If somebody says Africa enough, and they put on a big old dashiki and an ankh, and start using big ass words out of context like damn Oswald Bates, they'll follow you to the pits of hell. They will follow you to the pits of hell. They don't think. I saw this fool Nature Boy some time ago on a video talking about how he allows his son to play with his penis. What?
Yeah.
Really? And nobody checked him on that. Nobody said nothing. When I saw that nigga do that, I was done. When I saw his bitch ass do that, I was done. Who talks like that? You feel me? So yeah, and then Polite, he's another one. Like you could just, if you really pay attention to what this dude is saying and watching what he's doing, he's full of shit. You understand? Just by the way he interacts with women, just by the way he carries himself. Generally, he talk all this black shit, but he always Fendi, Gucci, Prada down.
Yeah.
But you so black. Okay, well, you got the eyes of the nation on you, the eyes of the whole conscious community. You got NBA players paying you to be their advisor. Okay, well, wear some black designer stuff or create your own. But why are you still on this? You're supposed to be so woke, but you ain't doing nothing woke. What you do doesn't match what you say. So I wasn't surprised when I found out he was messing with that 14-year-old girl. I really wasn't. Especially, the way that he used to womanize and move about, whatever the case may be. And that's another thing, with some of these little creepy niggas in the conscious community, they use the conscious community and their conscious platform as a way to get some ass. You understand? What part of the game is that? When did Malcolm sign off on that? I missed that. You feel me? Malcolm, the Panthers, any of them.
I mean, remember Malcolm, that's the reason why he had beef with Elijah Muhammad. Because of that 14-year-old underage thing.
Yes. So that's real, man. We got to get these bitch ass frauds up out the paint. And if it takes, them being institutionalized by the man, by the white man, or whatever the case may be. I hate to use the term the man, but I'm using that, figuratively. If it takes them being institutionalized by the white man to get them out of our community because they're a detriment to it, then so be it. It's a necessary evil. And I'll land my plane.
Drake?
First and foremost, what I have to say about the both of them getting locked up is...
There it is. There it is.
Bravo.
There
Bravo.
it is. Yes.
And for me, it's personally bittersweet because I've always been of the opinion that predators, be they male or female, they shouldn't have the dignity and privilege to go and sit before a judge and a jury and get a sentence handed to them. The minute it becomes known that this is how they get down, and we know that without a shadow of a doubt,
yes,
they should just turn them missing. Law enforcement goes by the crib, they go at the job workplace, they just never showed up. No one knows what happened. They just disappeared. Maybe a hat was found on the floor or something. No one knows what they end up at, or they found in somebody's canal or dumpster, what have you.
It is.
That's what I feel, because to me, especially where we're concerned, because we understand that the system does not look like us. It does not represent our best interests. It only moves according to its own best interests. To me, when these suckers are taken in, that is an indictment of the dominant society on the community or on the perpetrators. That's not our indictment. This is what they and their laws say. But what do we say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if they never intervene and do something about it, then it's perfectly fine. It's all well and good. If you have an R. Kelly that's out here preying on children, everybody knows about it, it takes them other people to come in and do something about it. Meanwhile, we sit back and just chill, cool with it.
Yeah.
That's why I have an issue with that. Not because I don't want to see them get what's due to them, but because I don't like the fact that it's not coming from us. The wealth of a nation, the wealth of a people, the riches of a people are the children. If you do not, cannot, and will not protect the children, your society is not fit to live. It's not fit to see the next generation. It should be snuffed out overnight because you don't even have the willingness or the wherewithal to protect the next generation.
Yeah.
And there is no institution, there is no teacher, there's no teaching, there is nothing more sacred than the children. So if we have to choose between what is in the best interest of the next generation of the future and then the old guard, burn the old heads every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. That's how I feel about it. These two suckers in particular have been fraud for the longest. Nature Boy, I can't even get into that. That dude has been, I don't know if he was ever on the rails to even say he's off the rails.
Wow.
Brother Impolite, as I've been calling him for the longest time, that nigga from day one has never sat right with me. And I know a lot of people gave him props, was rock with him. He never felt right by my spirit because I'm looking at him and I see the materialism all up in and out of the system. And I'm not saying that regardless of whether you claim to be religious or spiritual, that you can't like nice things. That's nonsense. I don't believe that you necessarily have to take a vow of poverty and you got to walk around in some biblical sackcloth and ashes. I'm not saying that. I don't begrudge you a nice luxury car. I don't begrudge you some nice clothing items. I don't begrudge you for having a thing for shoes. That's not my thing. But when this becomes your costume, your day-to-day, this is what you fixate on. Everything is about cars with you, fly women, and not even sisters, but you out here, you with everything under the sun, just pushing excess. I gotta look at you funny style. And the funny thing, and I don't want to belabor the point too long, but the funny thing that I have with both Nature Boy and with Impolite, because I believe they represent two opposite sides of the same spectrum, is you will have a lot of people who will bang on Judeo-Christian religions, specifically Christianity, but they'll bang on Islam as well too. But they'll bang on Christianity, talking about how people are brainwashed. They serve Sky Daddy, and the church is full of hypocrites, this, that, and the third. And you can't think for yourself. They'll say that, and they'll leave the church. They'll abandon God and everything. But they'll go over and they put on onks. They go ahead and they claim other things. But the same mindset that they had when they were over here, that they swore they got away from Christianity, they over here.
Yeah.
You weren't critically thinking when you were a Christian, but now you over here, you following Polite, or you up here with Nature Boy, whatever other practice over here, and you're still not critically thinking. You criticize having blind faith and blind belief in God and Christ and the church and everything, but you over here with the same blind faith, the same blind belief. Ain't no difference. The only difference is one is saying something that you like a little bit more than the other. But in terms of how you approach it, it's the same thing.
Right.
So the issue isn't Christianity. The issue isn't the church. The issue is yourself. You switch from having Pastor so-and-so mucking up your brain to now you got Nature Boy mucking up your brain. Same dirty feet, same mud on your feet, but you just put them in different shoes now. So was the issue Christianity, or was the issue you and how you approach and go about things? We got to be intellectual. And there's too much of that we have in our community. We have some of the most brilliant minds the world has ever seen, not just in the past, but presently. We have some right people, brilliant people among us, not just academically, but in terms of being street smart and being logical and having wisdom and game and common sense. We have a lot of wise people among us, but there's too much anti-intellectual among us where people just want to check out and just let someone do the thinking for them. They want to put somebody else in the driver's seat. They don't want to be responsible for themselves.
Real talk.
Yeah.
And as long as that's the case, unfortunately, you're always going to have a Nature Boy. You're always going to have a Brother Impolite. And you're also always going to have these pork chop pimps in the pulpits as well. Because the issue isn't them. The issue is you. If you are above the influence, if you can't be easily swayed, if you sit there and you analyze and critically think, then none of these people who have false intentions and bad agendas can have their way with you.
Mm.
So if you take the food out the lion's mouth, the lion's going to go hungry. They got to find another way to get over.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Well said.
Definitely. Well said. Well said.
I just want to add one more thing to the mix real quick before you go on to the next topic, gang.
No. I'm not going to go to the next topic, but I'm going to give you this gem so you can add in with it. So speaking on that, you guys remember the groomer, the guy who married this girl's mother, and she was a child at the time.
This nigga.
She was a child at the time, and then she ended up being 18, and he married her. So this was a groomer that ended up marrying his stepdaughter. And they're having their second child on the way now. This is them again. So I just want to give you that little nugget on that. And now you can do what you need to do, Major.
It's like, man, the material just never stops coming when you do this type of work. You feel me? Like, damn, bruh. And this man has no shame. You know, didn't Morgan Freeman do something like that too? But I mean, never mind. I just wanted to add to that because I think this is very important. You said earlier, you know, when I asked why Brother Polite got such a light sentence, you cited something. I want to make sure that I add this. He got at least part of the reason he got such a light sentence is because the girl that he molested was black. I just wanted to add that. I think that's very important. Had he molested a 14-year-old white girl, his ass would have got 30 years minimum. You know,
no plea deal.
Exactly. And you know, that actually helps dovetail right into this creep that you just put up just now. You understand? Because it's the same mentality. Our sisters are not protected. That's why I respect Brother Amun so much. Shout out to Brother Amun out of Texas. You know what I'm saying? This brother, they have a security apparatus for the community. You know, when people turn up missing, they go out and look for them. When there's domestic violence, they go out and they kind of play liaison and get in between the parties.
They regulate.
And regulate. That's what we need. You know what I'm saying? Dangerous work, but we're dangerous people when we need to be, or we should be when we need to be, because we shouldn't be allowing this type of shit to happen. You know, this punk ass nigga right here, the groomer. You know, somebody should have dealt with him too. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have no kneecaps. If we keeping it a buck, he shouldn't have no kneecaps.
Absolutely.
You don't do shit like that. What is wrong with him? You know, and then the people around him that support him. It's not just, I want to point out, bro, when you start talking about these little pervy, you know,
ecosystem.
Bastards is exactly, it's the ecosystem. The people around them that allow them to become as toxic as they become, the enablers. You understand what I'm saying? You got to call them out too. Just like when we call out, you know, we got all these toxic females and we call out these chicken heads that be reposting dumb shit, and in the amen corner with other females that we know no better. We get mad at them more because we know they know better and they still co-sign the same dumb shit. Same thing with the men. You understand what I'm saying? You see these guys out here doing dirt and doing little sleazy things, and instead of checking the behavior, or at a very minimum just falling back from them and ostracizing them from society. I don't rock with that dude. Speak to him. You understand what rock would do? No, we're co-signing them. We're going having beers with them. We're going hanging out with them. You know, we're going trying to get them to put us on at their job. That ain't us. That's never been how we got down. Even if you go back to ancient Africa, I can tell you because I have Africans in my family. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't believe that, you know, we have, you know, our roots in Africa and we started here, either way. You understand what I'm saying? In ancient Africa, that was how they did things. They would ostracize people that shamed their families. It was a thing. And here, you know, we didn't associate with little pervy bastards either. You know, once you got that stench on you of being a pedophile or a groomer, what have you, ain't nobody fuck with you.
Yeah.
You are persona non grata. You
Nice.
understand? We need to get back to that.
Bring back shame.
If somebody come after mine, everybody already know what's gonna happen. So don't nobody really touch nobody that run with me. You understand what I'm saying? Or even look at somebody that rock with me the wrong way. You understand? But
Yeah.
we need to extend that to our brothers and sisters outside the community that may not have the protection of a me. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be out there, man, because this is a problem, bro. There's no way he should have been allowed to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about it is, like you said, with the enabling, you enable that type of behavior, you're just as bad as the person that is doing it. You know what I'm saying? You're giving them added protection to make them feel comfortable, like it's something that is admired throughout everybody around him, But we as people have to have that code of conduct. We got to get back to that code of conduct because these children depend on us. You have to lead by example. One of the reasons why I don't date younger girls, even when they're 25, I don't date 25-year-old girls. Why? Because my exes have children that's 25. So I'm always looking at it as me dating my ex's child or her friends, my ex's child's friends. And that in my mind just doesn't sit right with me. So when I see these guys that be going way down to 18-year-olds and they're damn near our age, I look at them like, yo, mind-wise, you're sick. You're sick with it. Yeah, she might be legal because your mind tells you she's legal, but mentally and maturity, she's not on your wavelength. There's a big disconnect in that. So me personally, I don't date women that's around the same age as my stepdaughters. I don't do it. I don't feel comfortable doing it. So for this guy to feel comfortable doing it, that's crazy to me. You know what I mean?
But you're a man of morals. You dig? You're a man of morals. And that's the difference between you and a creepy fuck nigga like that. You dig?
And I'm gonna say something that's gonna be a little controversial.
Yo.
A predator, period, male or female, regardless, that's somebody that already isn't wired properly. I'm not giving them a pass. I'm not giving them an excuse or whatever. I'm saying that's someone that is not all the way up there.
Yeah.
They are operating for the most part within what is considered normal to them, and they only adjust based on what the climate is. If the climate is on board with them doing that, or will let them pass, they'll go along with it. But if they understand that the heat is going to be too much for them, they'll fall back. Or if they're really, really whacked out, like legit, they have a legit mental issue, like these pedophiles, whatever, do that ones that know that they got police watching everything, they still got to look at kiddie porn, they can't help themselves, whatever. You can understand the sickness. Yeah. The real cowards, the real disgusting people to me are the enablers. Because they may never go and do something like that. They might not have no desire to go and do that. And they know it's wrong. But they will still go right ahead and they will give covering to this person. This person might not have full capacity up here, but you do. And that's the reason why you don't go and do that. But you go ahead and you put a battery in their back. You go ahead and support them. You go ahead and enable for them. You'll block for them and everything else. You're evil. At least this person has the courage, quote unquote, to act on their desires. You will sit back from the cut safe and you'll just look at them like, oh, dang, that's messed up what happened to them. Like your ass wasn't right there going ahead, not saying nothing, enabling, backing them up. You a coward. And that worries me because if you lend support to that, what else are you going to support?
Right.
Manifestations 2020.